Hey Travis, how you doing,
What's
dude?
up, Jeff? Good.
Dude, we're talking about the right amount of land. We were at Falcon Ridge today and we were filming a different video, but we are like, hey, this is a really nice piece of property
Yeah.
and it's probably about the right size for most people, which
Yeah.
is what?
About an acre.
About an acre.
Yeah.
We have a lot of clients that are looking for land, and we have found over the years that about 1 acre is ideal for most people. And there's several reasons for that. And you could have plus or minus a little bit, but really people are looking for certain things. The
hmm
first thing that people are looking for is privacy.
Yeah.
And so when you get about an acre, there's enough space between you and other houses where you feel like you have your own little privacy oasis, right? Haven't you
Yeah.
found that?
Yeah. We lived on a couple acres in AG, and it was manageable, but it was getting to be a little bit much. But yeah, you had space, and it was quiet, and that was great.
So let's talk about that, the
Yeah.
manageable side of it.
Yeah.
So an acre is more manageable than maybe 2, 3, 4 acres.
Yeah. It depends on the type of land that you get. When we were on 2-ish acres, a lot of it was natural oak trees and things
Right,
like that.
right.
So there wasn't a ton of upkeep, but there was still plenty to do. Yeah. And
Yeah, that
you,
makes sense. Yeah, we're on 4 acres, and um, we have to kind of abandon part of it and just mow it once a year because
yeah.
there's no way to maintain it.
Right.
And what's funny is there's about 2, maybe even 3 acres that we really like don't really even use. Like the kids never go down the hill and play or whatever. So it's like people kind of think, oh, I want 5 acres to 10 acres, but there's a big part of that year that you're not going to use. And also, we found that people actually do kind of like having the security of having neighbors somewhat
Yeah.
nearby.
Yeah, if you're doing farming or something like that, obviously the conversation
Right.
changes. But if you're talking single family or multi-generational living, about an acre will give you what you
Give
need.
you what? Okay, and then let's talk about additional value for
Mm.
each acre after, let's say, 2 to 3 acres. We really don't see a huge increase incrementally when it gets over 2 to 3 acres.
No, it doesn't just kind of up and to the right
It doesn't.
value-wise as you
Yeah,
increase in acreage.
it definitely levels off.
Yeah,
So people are looking for a little acreage. They want a little space, but more than I'd say 5 to 10 acres, people are like, this is more than I want to manage or maintain. There's a lot of requirements that the states or the city and the state have with fire protection, mowing along property lines, things like that. So it's quite a bit of work to
yeah.
have acreage, and people don't want another full-time job.
Right, right. And well, another thing too, Jeff, to bring up with respect to acreage, once you get at or above an acre, you start looking at infrastructure changes
Right.
relative to the city. So you're talking wells and septics and stuff like that. So that's
Yes.
another thing you got to consider whether you're on, I mean, when you look at an acre or less, sometimes it can be tied to city water,
Right.
sometimes not. But what's been your experience with that kind of thing?
Yeah, so typically when you're about an acre, you're usually outside of the city limit. Usually you don't have city water, so you're on a well, and you're also on a septic system typically.
Yeah.
Not always, this isn't always the case. Um, they're nice to have. Wells are nice. You can use a little bit more water, a little cheaper. But if the well has issues, then it gets really expensive really quick.
Yeah.
Same thing with septic. Septic is nice. You can use it. It's not, you're not paying any fees or whatever. Usually it's pretty reliable. If it goes out or if you need to replace one, it could be tens of thousands of dollars. So there's some extra expenses there. And another thing to think about is once you get out in the country, some of the like safety things that people worry about, like it takes a little while for the sheriff to get there. It takes a little while for a fire truck to get out there, an ambulance. So depending on like your comfort without having those services, it might be worth being more in a smaller lot, maybe a 10,000 square foot lot or something
Yeah.
inside the city limit.
Yeah. Back to this place, because this is like the ideal, I think, property size
Yeah.
for most people. It's on an acre and you can do a lot with it. Like there's a main home here.
Yeah.
There's a 2-bedroom guest home.
Yes.
There's a 1-bedroom
1 bedroom, 1 bath.
studio.
Yeah.
So you can do a lot with an acre, right?
An acre, yeah. So like everything my clients typically want is here on an acre, and you could have like up to 3 hoofed animals. I mean, there's like you have some horses. Your neighbors would probably let you ride, on their property because all the neighbors kind of adjoin, and there's some horse equestrian stuff going on over here. So I think that really an acre offers a lot. So yeah, I think it's a great opportunity.
Yeah. So that's what we think the ideal acreage is. Let us know what you think in the comments.